Today we're looking at the BMW iX1, it's BMW's smallest electric SUV. You wouldn't think it by looking at it, it nearly reminds you of the original X3, which I think is pretty much the same size, but let's have a run through the outside, the inside and take it out for a spin. I've only got a short time with it, so I'm going to give a more in-depth review once I have it for a number of days, but aesthetically I think it's the perfectly proportioned BMW X SUV. It's just the right size, right overhangs, right width. Now this is not a dedicated electric vehicle platform, it is a multi-fuel platform. So let's start off at the front. You have that kidney grille, but it is blacked off. On this model that we have today, we don't have the blue highlights, but you do have air curtain inlets either side, air cooling in underneath. You can get identifiers with the BMW badging, you do get that blue surround just to identify, but you can make it more electric looking or less electric looking with those blue highlights, blue grille, etc. Got your LED lights, BMW LED. Overall, I think the front looks lovely, and in this black, I think it's really stealth. Some nice creases in the bonnet. There is no frunk in underneath here. It is an all-wheel drive, and that X-Drive donates that. You can get 18s, 19s and 20-inch wheels. The wheel arch surrounds are actually gloss, they're not matte. You've got your M badging here, comes in a couple of different trims. Large gloss black wing mirror with that indicator built in and retractable. You've got your gloss black roof rails. Everything is gloss black actually. There is no chrome on this car at all. It is totally blacked out. The only bit of chrome is the BMW badge and the wheels. Charging on the BMW iX1 on AC it's 11 kilowatt and on DC that's 130 kilowatt, meaning a 10 to 80% in around 30 minutes. And it has those lovely flaps. And I did a vote or a poll on my social media channel a couple of months ago now at this stage, and the majority of people like this. So other manufacturers, if you can emulate BMW and their iX1, that's what people want. It's a 68 kilowatt hour battery with 64.8 of that usable. WLTP is around that 450 kilometers. Real world, you're probably looking near the 400 mark. Let's have a look around at the rear. Around at the rear you have your shark fin aerial, but it's a nice wide flat one. You've got your high level brake light, you have your window wiper, you have your anodized blue to denote that it's electric, you have an electric tailgate. This is the X-Drive 30 model, and for such a small SUV it is a fairly substantial boot at 490 litres with a small bit of a subfloor for your cables in underneath, and it's a 20-40-20 split, some bag hooks. There is a 12 volt adapter and some lights with some netting either side. So a very nice wide, very little of a lip. Good job BMW. Inside the BMW iX1, dark headliner. Now you can get 3 different seat colours, 3 different trim levels. On the door itself you've got that Harman Kardon sound system, your centre locking, nice little easy to access door handle and door pull. Everything's electric, windows front and rear, and then your retractable lights. You've the ability, your retractable wing mirrors. Your ability to open the boot is down here as well. Not a bad size door bin. Fabrics, you've got your vegan leather upper, different colour lower, some different textures on the speaker. Over my rightly is your light control, so it's headlight, pour leather lights, large chunky BMW steering wheel with that boost button. We'll talk about that now. This has the M Sport 3-spoke steering wheel, and behind it then you've got your stalks, lights on the left and, wipers on the right, lights on the left. You've got your large curved screen. We've seen this on the i4 and the iX, so BMW bringing it across to the different models. Very intuitive, very easy to use and very responsive. You don't have the rotary dial in the center console anymore. At the front of the center console you have that charging pad with that ambient lighting. You've got 2 cup holders, 2 USB Type-Cs, some storage in underneath. You've got this floating armrest with your start-stop button, your reverse neutral drive, your automatic handbrake, modes, volume rocker, track change, and then you can open and close that center console. Not much space in it because there is a lot of space in underneath it. Nice textures going on, soft touch on the top of the dash. This trim has kind of like a fish scale silver going on, and then you've got your glove box, which actually is not a bad size. Seating position is good, everything is manual, and so the actual adjustment, and you have that thigh support. It's the lowest it will go there now. My headroom is about 9 or 10 centimeters and I'm 6'2", 188 centimeters. Let's have a seat in the back to see what the space is like sitting behind myself in the BMW iX1. In at the back of the iX1, Head height clearance is about 4 or 5 centimeters. You've got a nice grab handle like you do on the front with your single window down. Not a bad sized door pocket. Now, because the floor is raised up slightly, my thigh support isn't great, but my legs, I'm getting in. There's no problem there. You would only fit 2 large adults in the back here, even though there are 2 Isofix and a central seat, but really with that transmission tunnel and that 2 USB type A's with the 2 vents, it is sticking out a bit, so I wouldn't be putting that third person. There is a third headrest, don't get me wrong, and you also have your cup holders here. Yeah, good. For a long distance, no problem at all. Let's take it out for a drive. Conveniently, we have the price list here of the specific one that I'm driving today, and it is starting off for the iX1 xDrive 30M Sport. It's 67,780, but with this one, it's 71,860 because it has the technology pack, which includes comfort access, folding rear mirrors, wing mirrors, rear view mirror with auto dimming, LED headlights with adaptive high beam assistant, wireless charging, steering wheel heating preparation, and then the driver assistant pack. And it also has the M Sport Pro pack, which is the 20-inch alloys that are outside, the sun protection kit, the Harman Kardon, and the high gloss shadow line. Front sport seats, luxury instrument panel, speedometer in kilometre per hour, leather steering wheel, high gloss exterior trim, and the anthracite headliner, all totaling 71,860. So it's really going up against the likes of the Mercedes-Benz EQA and a very well spec'd Q4 e-tron. Probably be where I'd put it up against it. It's a start stop button. You can hear that there's lots of bleeps and bloops there, and we are going back. And the mode selectors are reverse, neutral, and there's 2-stage regenerative braking. There's D, which is adaptive, and then B, which is heavy regeneration. The adaptive is good, and I've had this now on a couple of different BMWs where it knows, it's looking at the sat-nav, it's seeing if there's a roundabout ahead or other traffic in front of you, and it starts to slow down. That steering wheel, some people think it's a small bit too chunky, but actually nice. I like it. But yeah, for some it is a bit on the thicker side. Seating position is good. As I said, it's all manually adjusted. I'm down as low as I need to be. Visibility is great. There's lots of glass. And you're up in that upright seating position. Wing mirrors are good. Actually, rear visibility is decent as well because that central headrest is down, and I actually don't think you're going to get anybody tall sitting really in that middle seat. Automatic wipers, automatic lights with the adjustable high beam as we talked about. And you've got that pedestrian warning noise. It's great to have a rear wiper on a wet day like today. So smooth, super quiet. I'm wondering if it's acoustic glass. It's not, it's single pane. Steering wheel probably a bit on the light side, and I'm just wondering if within the settings there is a setting to make it a small bit heavier, which would be good. Acceleration is very responsive, braking is great as well, and with that all-wheel drive, because you've got an electric motor on the front and the rear. Now, rumours are that very much like the EQA from Mercedes-Benz, we're going to get a single motor with a longer range. Prices for the entry-level BMW iX1, the X line, is starting around 65,000 euros. And this one starts, as we said, around about that 67, 68, 69. That boot is 490 litres, and with the seats down it's 1,495 litres, so phenomenal use of space. Even though the climate control is in the infotainment screen, it is permanently at the bottom of the screen no matter what you're doing, what you're up to, and it has wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so it's great to have those features, but also the convenience of having the climate control buttons always at the bottom, the temperature, and then you can just click climate menu and it'll increase it up. Lots of things in there, heated seats, heated steering wheel, etc, etc. It is a 308 horsepower combined across 2 electric motors, and it's permanent all-wheel drive. It's 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 5 seconds with that boost button behind the steering wheel. Adaptive dampeners are standard. WLTP on the BMW iX1 is 440 kilometers. Real world, we're probably looking at 370. Now, when I got in today, it was up touching the 400. But if you're taking in motorway, etc., so yeah, you're probably talking mid 300s to 400 would be the window of expectation. It is warm today. It is 20 odd degrees outside, even though it is raining here in Ireland. The seats on the BMW iX1 are gorgeous. I know that these are the upgraded sport seats here with that M Sport pack, but they're beautiful. Surprising for this price of car that they're actual manual, but I appreciate in an electric car you are looking at weight saving, and so but maybe somebody who's buying the BMW iX1 isn't all about the efficiency. They're going for those 20-inch tires that are on this, whereas you're going to lose a small bit of range with that larger tire. Another thing I like about the BMW iX1 is the ability to preheat your battery. So even if you're using your own satellite navigation to get to where you need to go, you're not relying on the inbuilt one where sometimes you have to use the inbuilt before it actually automatically preheats. This one will, you have the option of doing that for you. Looking forward to taking this on a proper run, probably my coast to coast, where I take it from Dunleary in Dublin over to Balmullet in County Mayo, 318 kilometres. It's a big drive at the moment to get to 15,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. And if you have subscribed, please leave a comment, like the video and share. And remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thank you very much for watching.